So I've gotten these spirit animal cards out, and I got these out. I'm going to pull three as we talk, and then I'm going to tell you what they are at the end, but I already know what that one is, and it's cool. So the reason I picked the spirit animal deck is, well, I love spirit animals. One of my favorite things to do is spirit animal drum journeys, where you go on a quantum journey and meet your totem animals and spirit guides and have all kinds of wonderful things happen. And I knew I wanted to make a video. Spirit was just like, make a video. And I was like, okay, but ever since this full remembrance stuff, I don't know what to talk about because there's so many things to talk about. I don't know what my thing is. Like, I feel like I need to focus on like certain, subjects because, that's what people who are successful do. And they just reminded me, like, hey, it's okay if you're still in the phase where you sit down and just say, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. However, in embracing that, my cat is howling. She just came in. Tinky, Tinky. Oh my goodness. She's really meowing. She's fine, but only one of my four children are home right now. Speaking of spirit animals, we'll just incorporate her into the reading. I have a two-story house on stilts on the Florida Keys, and so my bedroom is upstairs with the living room and dining room and all that. And then my children have three bedrooms and like a living area and like laundry room and stuff downstairs. And she just came inside after not being home all day and come on, come say hi to everybody. So, um, come on. So she goes and looks for them, and if they're not around, she starts to howl. She gets very sad. Come on. And right now there's a single sock over there, and there's two socks on my come on my bedroom floor, because what she does when she's sad is she goes and gets one of their socks and she like keeps it with her on the bed and like wherever she's sleeping. Tinky, come here. Let me get here she is. Isn't she sweet? She's a little white kitty. She doesn't look like she's real excited about this, and she's really little. So, oh, are you okay? Oh, she's upset because she hears. We have two boy cats too, and she doesn't like them. She wants to be the only cat. But anyway, so distraction. Yeah, but I've never seen a cat do that. It's almost like a security blanket, Like, I mean, cats do amazing things, but she gets one of their socks and like keeps it with her. I just think it's so cute. So anyway, in the embracing of, okay, I feel inspired to make a video today. I don't know what it'll be about. In the embracing of that, I don't know how, but Spirit just started reminding me of the chameleon energy, and it reminded me of a couple stories I thought would be really helpful to share with you, and that we could just have this little session on embodying chameleon energy. So first of all, chameleons have eyes, and it's like, right, it's kind of like they can be in two places at once. They can see two different realities at once. And I feel like that's kind of the bridging of being human with the heavens. But the couple of stories I wanted to share with you. One story was when I was dating someone and they called me a chameleon. And it wasn't a compliment, it was, what you call it, an insult. And basically, it was the type of a person who really wanted to be with somebody that was really predictable, somebody that they felt like really safe with, that wasn't going to be like changing and evolving and doing crazy things all the time. So clearly, I am not the right person for somebody like that. So when he called me a chameleon, it was a major insult. It was just like basically like, you don't know who you are, you change on a dime, you know. one day you're this, the next day you're that. And you know, I knew I wasn't a people pleaser, so I don't change to make people comfortable if they're not rooted in truth. But it just took me a lot of years to understand that it was not only a gift, it was a superpower, because I do know who I am and my values and character, and you know, my integrity, discernment, kindness is, you know, unfuckwithable. Like I am impenetrable. Like when all this started a couple months ago, I started to have fears about my ego. I'm like, what if I do rise? What if I do start to have like lots of people knowing who I am? And if I become like a top speaker on all these platforms, like I was afraid because, you know, a lot of these people egos come into play. So like, you know, no, that's not gonna happen. Like I know exactly who I am. So that was not really I'm just like so in a void right now. See, spirit is coming in and they totally, it was just like the current was happening and they totally shifted it. So to be a chameleon, chameleon energy, this is a superpower. So if you're identifying with this, there's a quote that I really love. A jack of all trades is often better than a master of one. So I used to get down on myself as well because I did so many things and I get bored doing one thing only. And I used to think, geez, Jolie, you know, you can't focus. You know, this is probably ADHD, which it probably is, which I do believe is like a spiritual gift. And, you know, if you could just focus on one thing, you'd be so much more successful. And I kind of thought maybe I had a problem. And so when I was focusing on my yoga, you know, for a while there, I was feeling lost about that. And this was a really long time ago, by the way. This was like over 10 years ago now, maybe like 12 or 15 years. And I asked this teacher who I really respected, who was an Ashtanga yoga teacher, and I just said, hey, you know, I'm just like trying to figure out like what my path is in yoga. And this was way back when I hadn't yet realized, like, don't ask people for advice on your path. Only you know. But it was part of my journey. And he was a wonderful person. Just his advice was not the right advice for me. It was the right advice for himself. So I told him that I was feeling lost, you know, that I loved yoga. And I just, you know, I just didn't know like what my thing was. And so he gave me this advice, which maybe this advice is good for some instances, some situations, some circumstances. Maybe it's good advice for you, but it wasn't good advice for me. And he said, well, basically, what you're doing is you're like drilling down for water. And it's almost like you drill down 5 feet and you don't hit water. So you go over here and then you drill down and you don't hit water and you just keep going everywhere and you never hit water. You need to commit to a practice. And I was like, oh man, jeez, I need to like commit to a practice or I'm never going to hit water. I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to be enlightened, right? Wrong. um that is not my path. My path is to learn as much as I can about everything that I can, and I take and keep what resonates and I throw out the things that don't make sense to me because I have not yet met a style of yoga that something about it made absolutely no sense. Or you know, like I don't really like personally the systems of yoga where you're you know, just practicing a sequence of postures over and over and over. I know there's massive value in that, and this isn't about right or wrong or this or that, but I just get bored with that. I need movement, I need change, I need creativity, I need music. There's millions of yoga poses. Like, why would I only want to practice a certain set over and over and over. I get it. You can really advance and make progress when you practice the same set, but it's just not for me. So um, it took me a long time, is what I'm getting at. It has taken me years to fully trust myself, to fully live in soul sovereignty, to fully trust my own discernment. And I'm just here to say, picked another card, um, that's just not easy to do. And so if you're like me, um, and you're feeling the chameleon energy, then great. We're similar in that, and I hope that you rock that even more powerfully, that you allow yourself to see between the veils, around the veils, under, through time, down the portals and rabbit holes, and that you allow your color to change, that you wear different colors, that you let yourself be wild and ever changing, and all of these beautiful things that the chameleon has to offer. So let's go through our three cards and then we'll be done. We have the earthworm, the shark, and the oyster. So the earthworm, see how it's like a rainbow earthworm? This is really special. So it's interesting that our first and final card are both things that, in my opinion, cocoon in a way. Like cocoon's not the right word, but the earthworm digs deep down into the soil and stays down in that. And the oyster also, it kind of stays, well, not kind of, it does, right? It stays closed up in its shell. So this is really interesting because, and then we have the shark, which is a predator. And by the way, sharks are power. I mean, we know this power animal. It's a sign of abundance as well. Sharks are kind of the king of the ocean in a sense. I mean, I know whales are bigger, but whales and dolphins and things, they just come from like other worlds, so to speak. So a shark is like really powerful in the ocean. So we're going to say this is like the center, is this shark, and this is like who you are, and this is what you're stepping into. However, right now, as we're coming out of this full moon energy that just happened yesterday, if you're following along with this video as it's released, things are a little all over the place, and so we're being asked not to make any abrupt decisions right away. Like, give it another day or two. But I have so many people reaching out to me, friends, people I'm doing private sessions with, really beautiful, amazing, and intuitive people who have really powerful careers and followings already, and they're just expressing to me that they're just feeling a little, like, I don't like the word stuck, but just like a little stuck, a little lost, like there's something they're meant to step into, but they're not sure exactly what or how, and they're just feeling all over the place. Well, that's because as we come more into remembrance, as these new earth codes are coming online, because the new earth is not coming, it's already here and it's being born through our remembrance. Well, we're being asked to ground with the earth. And this is like grounding in the water, right? So, earth, water, take time in solitude. Like, these are creatures, I know earthworms are sometimes grouped together, but I consider these kind of solitary creatures. These are both creatures that don't have eyeballs. I hope I didn't just say something really uneducated there. I don't think they have eyeballs, right? Like, do they see? I think they both just sense, right? So close your eyes, tune inward, breathe, and investigate your own internal light codes and scaffolding. Go within. Are there any places as you travel through your body that feel like they need a little burst of energy or movement of energy? And do a lot of deep internal work. So this is, again, a day after the full moon, and we're now moving to the new moon, right? And this is what we're moving into. And as we come out of the new moon, we're going to be really starting to shine. So I'm feeling this really powerful new moon because next week is a summer solstice. I am going to do a card reading for that. I also did notice that, again, this is all a little bit blurry. So when I do the summer solstice reading, I am going to use my nice camera that points right down onto the cards. That's how I do private tarot card readings on Zoom, so you can see them better and clearer. But stay tuned for my summer solstice card reading and the new moon card reading because things are going to get really interesting soon, and we're in this together. So much love to you. May you know you are the shark. May you just float and glide and breathe and remember that these are the things that are going to have you rising out of this phase into your light and into your strength. And if you're feeling also the chameleon energies of change and all the directions, just know that's part of it as well too. Okay. And so just finally, if we're feeling a little wild, a little off, what can we do? Breath work, movement, dancing, humming. So just humming a song is internal sound healing, taking some deep breaths. I heard once that like 5 minutes of active sighing can be really powerful for reducing like anxiety and stuff. So make noise, make movement, and for sure get in the earth and in the water. So I hope this has helped you. And I hope if you've been feeling crazy, you feel a little less crazy because these are all questions I've had. And that was something I didn't mention that I wanted to, is part of the reason I can't focus on anything is I've already done it all in so many lives. I've done like every healing modality. I've been a shaman. I've been a priestess. I've been all of these different things. So I can't focus on just like one modality or one thing or one style of yoga in this life because I'm embodying it all. This is like my last life on earth and it's all there. I have this like Akashic library of abilities that I can just tap into anyone at any given time. And it doesn't work for me to focus on just one thing because I've already been there, done that, and it's just really boring. So, again, I just wanted to come here and express that because I never truly thought I was crazy. I do like to make a lot of jokes and just make light of things. I mean, I've never actually thought I was crazy, but when I was going through some hard times, some anxiety and depression, I mean, I was looking up things like bipolar disorder, like multiple personalities, because all my past lives have kind of been filtering in at different times, for different reasons, as well as future lives for years now. I just didn't fully realize it until the veil was finally lifted over this last year. So, mental health is really important. And I'm also not here to give any reason for someone not to have their mental health checked. I think it's important for me to say that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. This is not a video for anyone to bypass um, care and having help and support. It's just to let you know that if you're just kind of like, wow, who am I and why am I just into all of these things, and can't I just focus on one thing, and shouldn't I just focus on one thing, then you're probably a lot like me, a multidimensional soul with a lot of abilities, experience, and psychic channeling wisdom that you can access, as well as spirit guides. Because that was another question, like when I'd watch Bashar, when I'd watch Abraham Hicks, when I would watch all these people, I'm like, who's my thing? Like, who's my person? Like, who am I supposed to channel? Who am I supposed to channel? And after a while, they said, we're not going to give you our names anymore because we just feel like you're going to go look us up on the Google, and you don't need to know our names. Just channel, and it will come in time. And then I realized that was part of my teaching and training as well from spirit, was that I would just channel and I would figure out who it was later, because I personally am not meant to just channel a specific being, collective, or group. I am meant to have access to all of them for whatever the purpose is in the moment. So anyway, I hope this has helped. And oh, I also wanted to say, so thank you if you're still here, because this is definitely a video where I'm rambling and had the cat distraction and totally lost my train of thought there for about 30 seconds. But if there's anything you want to hear in these videos, please drop it in the comments. Like, this is for you. I mean, of course it's for me, but I would love to hear what you want to hear about. Right now, we have a small following with these YouTube videos, and I always want to offer what the people want that are connecting with me. So if you want me to channel something specifically, let me know. If you'd like to hear videos on certain topics, or if you're struggling with something, either drop it in the comments or send us an email, info@fullcircleyogaschool.com, if you'd rather remain anonymous. But I would love your help and support in what you love here, what you'd love to see more of, and all of the things. I'm open to any feedback. Are these too long? Are they too short? La la la. This is all new for me. And again, I know I need to do a little better with my video equipment and make these a little more professional. I'm working on that too. But anyway, thank you so much. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I will see you soon.